Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back to our regular community. My goal is to share my decades of trading experience to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love, and also gain real wealth in the process. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently trading at 49,739, up 2.2%. Ethereum 3916, up 4.74%. I've hidden knowledge gems throughout this video. Unless you watch to the end, you'll miss them. See how many you can find. This is a combined trend and timing video. Our community is dedicated towards real wealth, the accumulation of it. Real wealth is really what life is all about. It's inner and outer peace, fulfillment and meaning, courage, kindness, honor, and fearlessness, as well as money. Nelson Mandela said, "We can change the world and make it a better place. It's in your hands to make a difference." Nelson was actually talking about the fake you, not the real you. The fake you is all about past mistakes and trauma and doubt and limiting beliefs. Every single human being has a fake you as part of their basic psychological makeup. There's also the real you, which is rare and unique, always learning, understanding, compassionate. Michael Jackson said, "If you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change." It's really vitally important to separate the fake you from the real you. The real you generates real wealth. It's all about integrity and decency, gratitude, happiness. The fake you is very different. It's all about fear and doubt, emptiness, conflict, unhappiness. These are all the things that past trauma causes. The formula is pretty simple. To become the real you, let go of past hurts. But of course, it's really, really difficult to do. It takes a lot of time. Rule 402, positive or negative wealth is always growing. It really depends who is in charge, the fake you or the real you. The real you always is growing positive or real wealth. The fake you is growing negative wealth. Negative wealth is really problematic. Real wealth is earned by self-growth. Self-growth is literally looking at the components of negative wealth and saying, I don't want these components anymore. I don't want to feel fear or doubt. I don't want to be fake. I want to be authentic. I don't want to be self-centered. I want to be kind. It's all about turning these around and creating positives where there were negatives previously. It's very helpful to think that the past is gone. Today is full of possibilities, and every day is a chance to begin again. Whatever the past held, it is in the past. The current moment, the present moment is in front of you, as is the future, and it's looking beautiful. I'd like to thank all the very generous people who have bought me a coffee on buymeacoffee.com/cryptotradingks. Today, after this episode, I'll be sending out a special little video as a thank you to the Coffee Club members. It's a very meaningful video. I hope you like it. All the content of the trend and timing videos will be in this particular video, but I'm moving around the order so it's a little bit easier to follow, and also putting the more relevant information up front. Rule 174, T-Cube, trend timing and trigger. We're going to look at the trend now. The first thing we look at is investment substitutability. We want to see if crypto is a good investment, if it's got a positive return, worth the risk. The S&P 500, we can see up 35% over the past 12 months. Gold down 5% over the past 12 months, and Bitcoin up 382% over the past 12 months. Crypto certainly is a very good industry and very good investment strategy. New people to crypto can look at these incredible returns over time and just think that crypto just always goes up. It is really volatile. Strap yourself in if you're new. The volatility will be eye-opening. Let's have a look at the Bitcoin trend. To do this, we look at the KS model. The KS model is a crypto technical trading model based on institutional price psychology. Looking at current price action, we're in the bull market psychology phase of the current rally. There are 3 phases per rally. There's the bull market psychology, where the rocket comes up and hits the moon. Rocket, 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 hits the moon says, "Get out of here, rocket, go back to Earth." And that's exactly what it does. And then the bear market starts until we get a thing called capitulation. Capitulation is the end of the bear market, and that starts consolidation. And then we have the halving event, and then price comes into the bull market psychology. If you're new, it's really important to understand that this is a live model. This is the actual price of Bitcoin right now, $50,079.54. Go Bitcoin! For example, I've just put on the RSI, which is the Relative Strength Index. What the RSI shows us is the price momentum has come back into Bitcoin. We're in an area where price pressure is upwards. What I've done just now is overlaid the price of Ethereum, the current price of Ethereum, which is trading currently at $39.54.71. You can see this model does a lot. It also does far more than that. It measures how long things take. It predicts how long things are going to take. We also get into a situation where we do forward prediction on where we feel the bear market, based on the current data and the past data, could potentially end. Bear market lows, minimums, all sorts of things. It does quite a lot more than that too. It actually shows the psychological segments of the market as well as black swan events. Very important to understand how these events will impact price around markets globally. There is also quite a lot of integration of on-chain data inside this model. It's perhaps one of the most comprehensive models in the crypto space. What we see here is the on-chain data is pointing to us being around the end of July in the past cycle, the 2016 cycle. It's a little bit easier if I just show you like this. The on-chain data is stating that we were around this particular area. You can see that there's a lot of price volatility until we get the blow off top. It's important to understand that we could have 30, 40, 20% drawdowns and then get an exponential blow off top. The exponential blow off top is what we're looking for. You can see in the past cycle, the exponential blow off top actually went up 245%. Coming back to the KS model, let's just zoom in on this particular price area just here. Using the 2016 halving cycle as a reference point, we expect that the price trajectory could look something like this. It's just really helpful to know which direction price could potentially go. This analysis is based on a realignment of on-chain metrics across the current price action. That exponential blow off top happens and occurs in all markets, not just crypto. Rule 111, crowd psychology creates price. When we see massive euphoria in the market, that is accompanied with the blow off top. What we're looking at right now is not any signs of euphoria in the market. It's just literally technical repair. As we push towards the top, we expect a lot of active addresses to actually increase at the same time. We can see right now the active addresses are really low. The number of addresses with a non-zero balance also tends to exponentially increase. We're not seeing anything like that in the current action. If you're new to the channel, I might just suggest that you pop over to Medium and have a look at the KSModel predicting Bitcoin at 486,000 by May 25th, 2022. This is an article that I wrote seeking to discuss how institutional price psychology plays out. There's a lot of rules in here and different things, just going through explaining the KS model. I hope it helps you. It's quite an interesting article. It should help you to understand quite a few different things. Now, one thing I would like to do is just to show you the technological adoption curve. Now, what does this mean? It's really interesting and important to understand that the crypto digital asset space represents the next evolution in the internet to the Internet of Value. So of course we compare it to the last internet and try to understand the internet's growth rate compared to crypto's growth rate. You can see the internet's growth rate between 1992 and 2006 in this white line. You can see the estimated growth, the actual growth, and the estimated growth of the crypto space in this lightly colored sort of tan goldy line. A goldy line, how cute. You can see that it's growing far more quickly than the internet ever did. Around 83% of the world's population are internet users, but less than 1% of the population has an active Bitcoin address. And less than 3% of the world's population actually holds Bitcoin. Fidelity Investments did a bit of an analysis on where they thought Bitcoin's price could go. They included the stock to flow model, which is estimating Bitcoin around $1 million in around 2026, and 4 years later around 2030 plus to be approximately 10 million. It's growing a lot. And people don't understand this, but just think back. Bitcoin started at literally a couple of cents. It's nothing. And what is it now? $50,000. This exponential nature of Bitcoin leaves a lot of people perplexed. I also wrote another article on Medium to try and help to explain these things. Why Bitcoin is misunderstood by experts, and why do experts regularly fail to predict the future? The link of this is in the description of this video. It's a really helpful article. It'll give you a lot of insight. It may also help to explain that an average of 19.2 million new users were added for the 6 months from January 21 to June 21. That's a lot of people and a lot of crowd psychology. And of course, you already know that we're so light in terms of penetration and market growth of crypto into mainstream adoption. Now that we have the basis of the trend under control, let's have a look at timing. We're going to come back to global indexes and crypto stocks towards the end of this video. The first thing we do in timing is to seek to understand the headlines from the perspective of somebody really new into the crypto space. What do we see here right now? Japan's financial giant, a giant, SBI to launch cryptocurrency fund. That is fantastic. There's adoption right there and there. Bitcoin trend into long with time frame. What is next? Well, that seems good. There's a picture here. It must be good. The crypto daily movers and shakers. What's shaking? Wow, gains ended. Pretty cool. Looks positive. Voyager token cryptocurrency is up 2,098% in the last 7 days. Wow, where do I get me some? That is awesome. I can retire next week. No, this afternoon. Tonight, this evening, this morning, whatever time zone you're in. It's going to be fast. EOS climbs 10%. Only 10%? I want that. 98%. That's disappointing. Bitcoin slips back to 48,000. It's at 50,000 now. Experts remain optimistic. Oh, that's very nice. Look at Bitcoin. It's teaching something about graphs. Good on you, Bitcoin. What is this? Ooh la la. Is that a very interesting language? Let's translate into English. What is this saying? Okay, what cryptocurrencies can be bought or sold on Binance? Oh, what everyone needs to know. Let's have a look. Ripple backs the SEC into a corner over Ether securities. Well done. Oh, look, there's chess being played. Must be good. That sounds very positive too. All in all, we can see that if the new investor or trader was entering the cryptocurrency space, they would be probably taken by this particular headline and saying, retirement is imminent. Wealth beyond imagination is just days away. In fact, only 7 days. The next thing we do is Rule 302, study the top. The first thing we do is look at crypto total market cap. Total market cap of crypto is currently $2.272 trillion. What do we see here? This upward support line, once resistance has turned to support and it's being tested at the moment. We've got a certain amount of resistance just here, but the market is acting really strongly. It's got a lot of strength. We also see the relative strength coming up inside the market. That's really helpful. Now, what else do we look at here? When we look at total crypto market cap, we're looking for the total number of cryptos, 11,602. That means this graph represents 11,602 movements in the crypto market. It literally represents every crypto. The next thing we look at is liquidations. We can see over the past 24 hours, 423.56 million in liquidations occurred to 58,762 traders. Over the past 12 hours, around 59% of liquidations were long. We don't see any multi-billion-dollar liquidations here. Turning to Binance derivatives, 24-hour trading volume was $86.86 billion. 24-hour open interest was $13.6 billion. When we look at the change in the price of the contract in the past 24 hours, we see Bitcoin is around 3% and Ethereum is nearly double that. What that means is that effectively Ethereum has more price interest, upward price pressure than Bitcoin has. Let's have a look at above 10% gainers. FTM, CVC, Litecoin, IOST, Zen, OGN, Sol, EOS, NIA, Sol BUSD, and Band. Let's go the other way. We can see the least interest is just around 3%. The market is rallying strongly. As a community, we do not FOMO. We don't have the fear of missing out. We simply have a structure, a strategy to buy at support. Rule 94, let price come to you. That's a really critical strategy. That's a way that you can sleep really, really well at night. Let's have a look at Bitcoin's performance. We can see the Fear and Greed Index today is slightly lower than yesterday. Yesterday it was 74, today it's 72, which is greed. If we have a look at the price action here, we can see Bitcoin has got above this resistance line. It's being supported underneath here as well. Bitcoin rallied up very heavily up to around 51, over 51,000. Then it's come back. What you're seeing here is price saying, I don't want to go any further down. I want to go back up. That's the significance of that particular bar there. Okay, what else do we look at here? We look to the futures markets, the perpetuals, to see if there's active price pressure, either in the long or the short. We can see there's long price pressure at the moment. This is saying that the price is anticipated to be going up. We also check the options, especially the options expiring at the end of the month. Total open interest 56,409.8, put call ratio 0.52. The max pain price, where the majority of the optimal number of options expire worthless, is 42,000. That was the same as yesterday. And we can see some interest here around the $64,000 price. We also check out USDT, which is Tether. Tether is a very large stablecoin, $66.8 billion in market capitalization. If there is any problem with Tether, that is going to cause some issues with the crypto market. We can see open interest is 83.17 million for the perpetuals, and we can see it's 35.98 million for the futures, the traditional futures. This means there is no problem with Tether. If there was a problem with Tether, we could see very high levels of open interest. We're talking billions, tens of billions. That's not happening right now. Bitcoin is currently 22.94% away from its previous all-time high. We can see it's well above the 200-day moving average and the 26-day exponential moving average. The 50-day moving average has cut through the 100 quite a while ago, and we can see there's a lot of support in terms of the average price increasing. Next, we have a look at Ethereum and examine its price action. We can see the relative strength has overcome this resistance. It's forging up on power here, and we can see that being reflected in the price. ETH is above its 26-day moving average, the 50-day, the 100-day, the 200-day. It's going quite well. The next thing we do is look at the options for Ethereum. The options expiring at the end of the month. We can see the put-call ratio is 0.58. The put-call ratio is just put volume divided by call volume. Total open interest is 384,179. Max pain has increased to 2560. So let's update our chart. You can see previously it was around the 2240 mark. Now we're going to increase that. Here we go. So we can see that the options price has increased from 2250 to 2560. It's now at that 2560 mark. And you can see the price is well above that. Now we're interested to see if Ethereum has flipped Bitcoin. Ethereum's market cap is 49.3%, so it's got a ways to go. Active addresses, 59%. Transaction counts have flipped. Trading volume, 59%. Transaction volumes have flipped. Total transaction fees are flipped. Total node count is under, it's not flipped. And Google search interest hasn't flipped. What does all of this tell us? Really, the market cap is the key. You can pretty much just look at this and figure out if ETH has flipped Bitcoin. It hasn't. Just to see for yourself, just type in the definition of flipping in Google. And what it says, in terms of market capitalization, is when ETH overtakes Bitcoin. So the market cap measure is the most important measure. And that's what we've been saying all along. If people tell you that ETH has flipped Bitcoin, there's probably a reason they do that, but it's not the case until it's over 100% of Bitcoin's capitalization. The last piece of data we look at is the number of ETH that were burned since EIP 5059. We can see $743.8 million has been burned. We can see that Ethereum is just 15% below its previous all-time high. We check the Bitcoin stablecoin supply ratio SSR oscillator to see if the market is losing strength. We can see that stablecoins are flowing into the market and then into Bitcoin. We have an upward price trajectory here. That's showing that the price is being supported. It's very healthy. We're also really aware of the correlation between futures open interest across all exchanges and the price. What is happening now? We've seen a big increase in futures open interest and a slight decrease. It's matching pretty well to the price. Let's have a look at Bitcoin's technical analysis. We can see the previous high up here. We've just made a higher high than that. That's really very, very positive. It means we broke that resistance level. We also broke through the $50,000 psychological level, which was holding price back for quite a while. We can see this upward support. Price is currently below. That's acting as resistance, but it acted as resistance here and it shot through. So just keep in mind, Bitcoin's a bit of a party animal and it's really loving to party at the moment. We also see this support and now become resistance, but this is just minor price action at the moment. It's really important to understand we're on the 1 hour time frame. This bit of a sell-off, and of course it's the weekend as well, just bear that in mind. Weekend action can be a little bit volatile, but overall everything is in plan. We can see the current price of Bitcoin is 49,742. It has support below at 49,440 and 48,902, 48,593, 47,819 and 47,206. We know the trend, and in knowing the trend and where prices are heading, any opportunity to pick up cheaper crypto is really a blessing. Turning now to Ethereum's technicals. Ethereum is currently trading at 39.32, support below 38, 39, 37, 74, 36.21 and 35.15. In our community, we're not fussed with downward price action. We know that price is always moving in a wave. Waves up have waves down. To basically chill, they go on a party and then they need to recover a little bit and go on a party and need to recover. It's just the nature of price action. We're seeing some fairly reasonable support lines here coming into play at around the $3,700 mark as well. We can see upward momentum price support here at around the 37.37 mark. So the 37.74 support line should be quite good, as would be the 36.21 mark in case we get a bit of a wick down. But we're really not concerned about price. We know that we're in the right market cycle. The on-chain data, the progression and projections of Bitcoin and crypto are all looking really, really good. Let's turn to the top 7 and the percent movers. The top 7: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Binance Coin, Tether, XRP, and Solana. The top 24-hour percent gainers: Rev, Phantom, Litecoin, Zen, Sol, EOS, and Bitcoin Cash. The greatest 7-day percent gainers: Rev, Phantom, Solana, Arweave, IOTA, Kusama, and Polkadot. The greatest 24-hour percent losses: Hot, Cello, KSM, AVAX, Uni, Luna, and Waves. The greatest 7-day percent losses: Cake, Clayton, AMP, AVAX, XDC, Quant, and Tel. Turning to the Binance top 33 over the past 14 days, we can see Sol doing outstandingly well. It's on a tear. We can see XTZ doing really well. It's almost cutting through that resistance. It looks like it's about to turn around. Atom is next, followed by FTT, ETH, ADA, DOT, Litecoin, Filecoin, TRX, XMR, ALGO, VET, BNB, Luna, Link, AVAX, EOS, Bitcoin Cash, ICP, NEO, and then Bitcoin. Rule 109, enhance pattern recognition. We do this by looking at the top 8 on a weekly time frame. With your pattern recognition here, I'm just going to show you something interesting. This is the top 8 on the weekly basis. This is the previous all-time high of Bitcoin. Notice the current price. This is the previous all-time high of Ethereum. Notice the current price. Cardano, previous all-time high, current price. Binance Coin, previous all-time high and current price. XRP, previous all-time high, current price, or previous ranged high. Dogecoin, previous high, current price. Previous high in DOT, current price. Previous high in Sol, current price. You can see a lot of differences, can't you? Look at Sol. It's got so much inherent power in it, and it's taking off. You can see Cardano, very powerful, but not the same pattern as Sol. They've got different patterns. This is more concentrated in earlier price action and flattening out. We can see Sol increasing. What about Doge? We can see Doge decreasing but starting to turn around. I think Doge will do very well. We can see XRP. What is XRP doing? It's not far from that previous high, as is DOT. This is the reason that we need to zoom out a little from time to time. When things are minute in their impact, we need to zoom in a lot and see and gain a very close perspective on price action. As things tend to repair, we zoom out. I hope that's helped. Let's have a look at some community requests. It's really important to keep Rule 444 in mind. Ignore all tips, advice, and marketing. Do your own research is critically important in crypto. Okay, we're doing a same sort of thing, a similar thing. We're looking at the previous high around the March time frame, which with each of these particular alts, we can see Engine Coin below that previous high. We can see Holo below the previous high. When we look at LRC, we see price much closer to the previous high and much less resistance. For example, Holo has more resistance than what LRC does here. When we have a look at MATIC, when MATIC gets above that 172.4 mark, it's going to do really well. We can see Mana's price being really well supported. The next level of resistance is coming in at 114.30. Icon is looking really good. ICX, the next real level of resistance is 199.2. Harmony 1 is not really far below its previous high. It's looking very strong. NANO has seen a bit of a decrease in price. That's because there's so much resistance under 10.455. When it actually overcomes that, it's going to bolt. Let's do another 8. When we look at VRA, VRA is very close to taking out that previous high. It doesn't have a lot of resistance. It's looking very good. AMP is continuing to wobble up and down and be quite spiky. Multivac MTV has cleared this resistance. It's charging up. It looks really good. Energy Web token, what we can see is there was a rejection at the $15.822 level, and then price has come down and seeking to recover. When EWT manages to get across the 1839 mark, it's going to do really well. XDC is nearly outside of this resistance. It only has to get past 1952. It's going to rocket. Algorand, we can see that the price has got some degree of resistance here under the 152.14 mark. DSLA has quite a bit of overhead resistance in the moment, and it's sort of decreasing in price momentum currently. We'll just keep our eye on that one. Flow has rejected the previous high and has come back to consolidate, but it is in an uptrend. As part of the trend episode, we look at the Grayscale digital large cap fund in terms of its actual components. Those components are Bitcoin, Cardano, Chainlink, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin. Let's just quickly check them out. Looking at the components, I'm just drawing in some key levels. You can see with Bitcoin, a key level is 58,081. When we get above this particular level, there's really not much resistance above that. We can see that the key level for Ethereum is currently 39.37. The current price is 39.27. It's getting very close to taking that out. Cardano, the current level, or the important level, was 2,306. Current price is 2,935. It's above that, but it may come back and retest it. That's quite normal. When we look at Bitcoin Cash is currently 710 and 10 cents. A key level is 973 and 30 cents. When we look at Litecoin is currently 210 and 40 cents. A key level is 223.80 and 273.20. When it gets above 223, the next real resistance level is 273.20. Let's have a look at Chainlink. Chainlink, current price is 30.46. A key level for Chainlink is 31.70 and above at $40.10. Let's have a look across the world at market indexes. It's critically important to deal with problems when they occur, not before. We can see, looking across the globe, that Australia did well. Japan did very nicely. India, Russia, Canada, Brazil. They're all fairly good. And we saw some negative price pressure through China and France and Mexico, a little bit in the US, and some throughout Europe, for example, Sweden. In the US market, the best performing sector was the IT sector, followed by communications, worst performing utilities and materials. We're going to use Rule 109 again, enhanced pattern recognition, and this is cross indexes, but also Bitcoin compared to various things like oil and gold and transport and all other things, bonds and yields. It really helps fulfill your knowledge. It's a very, very important thing to do. Many media commentators will talk about yields and bonds and inflation. If you don't know this information, they can have a field day with you. They can fill you full of fear. Our goal in this community is probabilistic fearlessness. We're all about getting rid of FOMO and getting rid of FUD. Looking at major market indexes, the Nasdaq went up, fear came down, Bitcoin kind of flat, the S&P 500 up a little bit, the Dow Jones up a little, and the Russell 2000 retraced. When we compare Bitcoin to the US dollar currency index, what do we see here? This is quite interesting. The dollar is breaking down. What does that mean? The DXY is like a stable coin. When the markets go red, the stable coins go up in value, they turn green. What is happening with the DXY? This is a flight to risk. That's saying that riskier assets are in play. Although there's an association between the DXY and Bitcoin, don't let anyone fool you. Bitcoin is driven by a 4-year cycle. The DXY is driven by other things. They don't have the same drivers. Therefore, they tend to phase in and out of correlation. It's really important to understand that. People will say, oh, you can't do this because the dollar is going down. Don't listen to it. It's not realistic. Just as an example, the dollar came down when Bitcoin was going up. There is not a set relationship between the dollar and Bitcoin. They phase in and out. There definitely is a relationship between the dollar and precious metals. There is an inverse one. We can see the inverse DXY. Basically, I flipped the scale on the DXY to show you the association. Look at silver. This is why gold is also repairing. We saw previously gold down quite a lot and silver down quite a lot. We can see them improving in value right now. We also see copper coming up, palladium and platinum. It looks like the precious metals have bottomed out around the 19th of August. We can see Bitcoin coming down a little. The law of property equivalence is important. Gold, copper, silver, palladium, platinum, and the inverse DXY all move according to a different set of conditions than what Bitcoin does. It's really important not to get confused and say, if gold goes up, Bitcoin will go down, or if gold goes up, Bitcoin will go up. It's not like that. As a lecturer of first and second year stats, I had to take my students through all sorts of associations and correlations. Correlation does not mean causation. Sometimes it does, but often it isn't. Let's compare Bitcoin to treasury bonds, to bonds in general. We can see that the bonds have been coming down, which is to be expected. The TLT, the 20-year plus treasury bond, the 10-year bonds, the 10 to 20-year bonds, 3 to 7 and 1 to 3, we can see the structure and order of those movements. Bonds and bond yields definitely have an inverse correlation, mathematically so. We can see the bond yields coming up for the 30-year, for the 10-year, and the 0 to 5-year high yield corporate debt coming up. You'll hear a lot of commentary about inflation, the stock market, and Bitcoin. Some people believe hyperinflation is coming. That would be when the 5-year and 10-year break-even inflation rates go exponentially up. Others are calling for deflation. That's when the 5 and 10-year just fall through the floor. What we're seeing right now is the actual inflation. We just deal with the data. We don't care what other people think because often they're wrong. The data is not wrong. The data is what the data is. It's always good to estimate things, but it's very much more important to look at the actual data. We can see the inflation rate came down as Bitcoin came down, and then it's going up. As Bitcoin is going up, we say there's a correlation. There was a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt caused recently by the divergence of the transportation indexes with the main market. It's really important to understand that Bitcoin and the main markets, the stock market, they're kind of related. If the stock market plummets, Bitcoin will plummet more. It's very important to keep our eyes on any early warning signs. That's why we do this analysis. We can see the transportation indexes did decrease, they did diverge, they've been repairing. Since around the 20th of July, they've been improving. We can see the airlines starting to turn around as well. This is all very positive stuff. My goal in showing you all of this information is to make you effectively bulletproof from FUD, which is fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and FOMO, which is fear of missing out. As a community, we do not like fear. We laugh in the face of fear. Ha ha! We're really about probabilistic fearlessness. We use the numbers to guide our decisions. Let's compare Bitcoin to Brent oil and crude oil. We can see that Brent and crude were coming up, and then they decreased. We can see an improvement in prices now. They're actually different cycles. Bitcoin and Brent and crude are on different cycles. They may phase in and phase out. It's just what I call the indicator principle. If you're at the lights and a car is in front of you and it's turning in the same direction as you are, both of you have got the indicators on, your indicators will phase in and phase out of synchronization. It's a lot like economic and financial data. It does it all the time. Now that we've got a really solid basis of financial and crypto data, let's look at the crypto stocks. We'll also look at Bitcoin ETFs and ETPs. Let's compare Bitcoin to public companies with Bitcoin exposure. Over the past 14 days, we can see HUT8 is doing really well and has been doing so for quite some time. Marathon Digital is also doing well. Number 3 position, Silvergate Capital Corporation. Number 4, Hive Blockchain, HVBT, Galaxy Digital, ADE, the Bitcoin Group, Voyager Digital, BitF, Bitfarms, BTBT, Bit Digital, Coinbase Global, ALGO Blockchain, and then Bitcoin. Underneath Bitcoin's performance, Riot Blockchain, and leading up the bottom of the pack, MicroStrategy. Come on, Michael, get it going, man. That was the past 14 days. Let's check out the past year's performance. ALGO Blockchain in front, 2,445% increase, not bad, ALGO. Voyager Digital, second place. Third place, Marathon Digital. Then Bitfarms, HUT8. You can see HUT8 really increasing. It's starting to exponentially take off. Followed by Riot Blockchain, Hive Blockchain, Silvergate Capital, Galaxy Digital, MicroStrategy. Oh, Michael, up 400%, not too shabby. Bit Digital, BTBT, ADE, the Bitcoin Group SE, and last place, Coinbase Global. Let's have a look at Bitcoin versus the Bitcoin ETFs over the past 30 days. What's sticking out to us here is Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund took an absolute nosedive. Bitwise 10 Crypto Fund came up substantially. Let's just read out the rank. BitW, GDLC, QBTC, BitC, which is the CoinShares physical Bitcoin, 21XB, EBIT, BitCQ, BTCC, BTCX, BitC, which is the 9-point Bitcoin ETF, then Bitcoin, Grayscale, Bitcoin Trust, and then at the end, Osprey, Bitcoin Trust. Let's examine Bitcoin versus the Bitcoin ETFs over the past 365 days. Out in front, BitW, up 408.33%. Bitcoin is currently up 379.53%. Underneath Bitcoin, QBTC, 21XB, GBTC, that's the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, GDLC, Grayscale Digital Large Cap Fund, we can see it really plummeted recently. It was doing very well, up around 167%. Now it's down to around 89% for the past 12 months. Next, BitC, the 9-point Bitcoin ETF, followed by CoinShares Physical Bitcoin. Next one, Purpose Bitcoin ETF, CI Galaxy Bitcoin ETF, 3IQ CoinShares Bitcoin ETF, EBIT the Bitcoin ETF, and in last place, Osprey Bitcoin Trust, OBTC. Rule 138, all investors become traders whenever they buy or sell. So when an investor buys, they are trading. When they sell, they are trading. What traders do is to seek to get the minimum buy price and the maximum sell price. This is not any way, shape or form greed. What it is just optimization, a kind of mathematical continuity behind how price action moves. Unfortunately, a lot of investors get called into markets when markets have rallied up substantially. This often causes investors to buy at the top. It's not their fault, it's just how the system works. When price eventually comes down, and it can come down very hard, people that are investing think, oh, I've made a mistake, I've done the wrong thing here, and they sell, which is typically the bottom of the price, and then price starts to rally again. Traders are acutely aware of the psychological games that institutions play and smart money plays with investors. You can learn a lot from trading psychology. It's all about being more of a financial blessing to yourself and the ones you love. Learning how to buy, when to sell, how to buy in layers, how to sell in layers. All sorts of tricks and techniques, how to read a chart. All of these things will make you much more of a financial blessing. It's really what it's all about. Of course, in our community, we're much more than money. We're about literally having it all. You can have real wealth, emotional freedom, very good feelings, happiness and contentment, and you can also have an abundance of financial wealth. Please let me know in the comments what you think of Rule 138. I'd be really interested in your opinion. I hope you found the content useful. Please consider sharing this video if you think it will help others. Thank you to our moderators for keeping our community safe from scammers. If you're new, please say hi and let me know where you're viewing from, and if you have any questions. If you'd like daily updates on price movements in the crypto market, please subscribe to YouTube, and don't forget to hit the bell notification icon as content comes out at various times throughout the day and night. Please remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, take care, and see you next time. Bye for now.